performance settings, you can see that I'm only using 4 GB, and that's perfect. But let's say if you had 12 GB available and this number was something like 11,000, you'd want to go into your individual in-game settings for any game, scroll down and start turning down some of the options, especially textures. If you're using ultra textures and that's maxing out your VRAM, try using high textures. Same goes for shadow details. You don't have to go crazy with the settings, but just adjust some of the heavy settings which are listed on the right hand side of the screen now, just by 1 or 2, and see how your VRAM usage comes down. This may also give you a significant FPS boost, which is always welcome and will lead to better performance. We can then jump into capping our in-game FPS. And there are a few ways in which we can do this. Using in-game FPS caps will lead to the lowest level of input latency, but this doesn't fix the inconsistent performance, as you'll still have drastic frame time deviations as they are not stable frame cap. Personally, I would recommend using the alternative 2 options, which are either using Reaver Tuner Statistics Server or RTSS, which we have open in the right hand side, or using your Nvidia or AMD Radeon control panels to cap your FPS. First of all, and my primary recommendation for those of you watching, would be to use RTSS, which we are already using on our system. This has a fantastic, easy to use and quickly customizable FPS cap, in which you can set for all games on your PC or load individual titles in, so you can set individual FPS caps per game automatically when you don't even have to think about it. We'll be going over the numbers you should be capping your FPS to later on in the video, but for a quick demonstration, first of all, how to set up a cap on Reaver Tuner. You can set a global or system-wide FPS cap where it will cap the FPS for everything on your system, but I actually prefer to navigate down to the bottom left and select Add. Find the in-game application for the game in which you wish to add. That's going to be r5apex.exe, because that's the main application for the game. Selecting this, selecting Open. Once that's then been loaded into Reaver, if I then go and click on the Apex profile, head over to the right hand side, any changes I now make whilst Apex is selected will be saved to Apex and Apex only. This means that I can also come down and add more games, making more profiles, and I can set different FPS caps for different games. Let's say that I want to cap GTA 5 to 60 frames per second, but I want 120 on Apex. Well, I would simply click on the Apex application, set that cap, go down to GTA, set the cap of 60. If you decide you don't want to use RTSS and you want to use the inbuilt Nvidia control panel FPS cap, simply open up inside of the Nvidia control panel, head over to Manage 3D Settings in the top left hand side. Again, we can set a global FPS cap inside of here, but for the best results possible out of every game in which you play, head over to Program Settings. If we then go ahead to the drop down menu, either select our game from this list or hit Add, I mean it's going to be Apex, so I'll be adding something to the program. We can then navigate down until we find max frame rate. Any changes we make with inside of this profile will only be applied to Apex, so you can then jump in and set different FPS caps for your games. Go to maximum frame rate, go to the drop down menu, turn the FPS cap to on, then you would then set your value with inside of here, in which we'll be deciding in the next step of this video. To set an FPS cap using the AMD Radeon control panel, simply head inside of the control panel, head over to your individual game settings by clicking on the game you want to set the cap for, scroll down until you find the Radeon Chill option. Enable Radeon Chill, you then want to set your minimum and maximum FPS to the FPS cap which you're going to be setting to. So if you're going to be capping at 120 FPS, set the minimum to 120 and the maximum to 120, select enter, and next time you boot the game, this should be capped. So now that we know how to implement an FPS cap, what are the best FPS cap values for the best performance possible on our system? Well, this is really going to come down to what games in which you play. My recommendation would be to boot into one of your favourite games. For me, that's going to be Apex. With me inside of the Apex firing range at 4K, you can see that my frame times are all over the place. This is relatively smooth performance and this is pretty optimised as is, but as you can see, we're constantly getting frame time deviation. If that number was completely solid, it would mean there'd be completely even pacing between each frame delivered to my monitor and the PC, equaling perfectly smooth performance. But my frame time milliseconds are all over the place. What I would do is I'll take a few minutes to play the game and keep it X, go to the frame rate limit mode, head over to the right 5% so you can squeeze the maximum amount of performance as possible in all
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. just like that, it's already time to begin.
Tip number 1, fix and overlay related. We'll get into that. Tip number 1, hit the like button to boost my video in the YouTube. I own .tv. They have is a very then I do run it as administrator. You can go to the properties, if you're already using it, always run it as administrator. You can go to the properties, click on advanced and then enable run as an. With this tip I will probably lose 30% of my viewers because this is a real hack. It will literally completely fix. So please keep watching. Okay, so why does running OBS as administrator help so much? It's pretty simple, let me explain you. Usually when you're gaming, Windows will set your game as the absolute first priority over all your other programs, like your browser for example, because you don't need your browser while gaming, right? However, it will also prioritize your game over your streaming programs here, and all those that have the enabled status are things that are launched automatically when your PC starts. Cleaning these is easy and these programs are just not launching. Your webcam is a viable solution to try and get that extra 0.1% load of your PC. This number you enter right.
Having punches repeatedly thrown at your facial area? Good luck. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is on. Grab the last bit of loot before you're caught outside the ring. gonna get these beautiful grapes? Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors over at Squats. Whether you want it fried, roasted, protein enhanced, or veggie, nothing says Capital City like a steaming basket of squats. 9, 8, where champions eat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's on. There's lots of heavy hitters in today's game. I think we're in for a treat. Grab the last bit of blue before you're caught outside the ring. And one more opponent down. The ring continues to shrink, but it's still anybody's game. Like the refs are indicating that that is indeed a fair elimination. Fresh new loot is on its way to the arena. Be looking at a new champion here. Don't get too comfortable. The ring is closing in. Look out! There's more loot on the way!